Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
And good morning. It is Thursday, October 17th, and happening right now, a live picture for you as a multiple vehicle crash is disrupting traffic in southeast Portland. Again, a live look at the scene. Carly will also be giving us your plan B. We'll take a live report from Brent here in just a moment. Plus, fake cash going around in Oregon, how you can check if your money is real. And busted for bluffing, how a man trying to rob a bank ends up behind bars thanks to a pretty alert witness. Those stories and more ahead, but Riley first has a look at our forecast.
You know, the biggest weather headache this morning will be the fog. Visibilities are pretty low out there, even a quarter of a mile in some areas. So here's your planner for today. Once the fog lifts and we get the gradual clearing, we're going to end up right around 67 today. Now, it's going to start off on a clear night tonight. We could see more fog tomorrow morning. I'll talk more about that in the extended forecast coming up.
Thank you very much, Riley. Let's update you now on our breaking news. We're following out of southeast Portland. A rollover crash involving multiple vehicles has closed a road. Our Brent Weisberg live at the scene with more this morning. Brent, what have you learned?
Chad, good morning. We have a better vantage point to show you here. We have moved down onto northbound McLaughlin Boulevard here, Highway 99. You can see the flashing lights. This crash is in between Tacoma and Bybee Street. It is just south of Bybee, but north of Tacoma. Northbound McLaughlin Boulevard is being detoured onto Tacoma Street here. Portland Police getting assistance from Milwaukee Police here on scene. We do know that this crash was reported around 5:15 according to Portland Fire and Rescue. They say that there were no serious injuries. One person was transported to a local hospital. We saw that ambulance leaving here. We don't know what caused this chain reaction crash. It sounds like there was a semi involved, and originally there was a report of at least one vehicle that had rolled over. From our vantage point, we can't actually see the vehicles involved, but you can see still all Portland police officers here, including one fire truck with Portland Fire. Again, they were able to extinguish a brief car fire. It sounds like that fire was contained to the engine compartment of that vehicle. So as soon as we get some more information on this, we will let you know. We do know that ODOT is coming out here to kind of block the road to let Portland Police go and continue to work around the city. But again, no serious injuries in this. We'll send it over to Carly now for your plan B.
Brent said northbound completely blocked there just north of Tacoma, and actually northbound traffic is being forced to take Tacoma. You can access Milwaukee from there or cross over the river and take Highway 43 to head northbound into town. Those are the two plan B options for you if you need to get around that accident, if you're headed in from that area. Even southbound traffic may want to use this as well because it will be congested with traffic down to one lane there southbound. Take a look at the freeways. Well, not much going on the freeways. It's clear still, even though we're past the 6 o'clock hour and we are into that 6 o'clock half hour with traffic slowing here in about 15 to 20 minutes when rush hour begins. I-5 at Haines, northbound all clear. I-5 southbound looks great in Vancouver. This is at Mill Plain. And take a look at I-84 at the Hollywood District. Not bad if you're headed in from Gresham. But we've got construction to warn you about. 2 lanes of southeast MLK will close today from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. The closure will be between Stark and Washington Street, and crews are doing repairs to the streetcar track there, so that's why we've got that closure. This also means the streetcar stop at MLK and Stark will be closed. Powell Boulevard will be down to 1 lane tonight between 111th and 174th. Flaggers will direct traffic through the area between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Traffic signals will be turned off, so pay close attention to the flaggers. Crews will be upgrading the traffic signals on that stretch of Powell.
Thank you very much, Carly. And we are following following some developing news this morning. A car and semi-truck crash along I-84 has killed one person. It happened just about 9 miles west of Hood River. Oregon State Police are there investigating. All lanes, we're told, are back open at milepost 55 where this happened. We are working to get some more information, and when we do, we'll pass it along to you. And also, right now, the U.S. government is back open for business, but the last-minute deal is really nothing more than just a temporary fix. For 16 days, lawmakers couldn't reach an agreement, but with just hours to spare, a bipartisan deal made it through the Senate, then the House, and President Obama signed it just past midnight Eastern time. Afterward, Washington Senator Patty Murray praised the Senate for eventually coming together and working together.
Who stood up for our families and communities that are hurting, and tonight we join with all of them, breathing a sigh of relief. It took far too long. Far too many families were hurt while we worked to end this crisis, but there's finally a light at the end of the tunnel.
Only in the next few months, Congress will have to go at it all over again, as yesterday's deal only funds the country through January 15th, and the debt cushion has only been extended through February 7th. And some new information this morning on a shooting that injured a police officer from the Dalles. That officer was serving a search warrant across the river in Wishram in connection with a rape investigation. And law enforcement from the Dalles, Klickitat County Sheriff's Department, and Oregon State Police all went to the home on East Main. Now, deputies say they saw the person of interest armed with a gun inside, but he took off out the back door. Now, following a short foot chase, deputies say the suspect shot the officer, who returned fire. And we've learned this morning the suspect is dead. We're told, though, the officer will be okay. That investigation is ongoing right now. And today, the 19-year-old accused of killing his 71-year-old Cedar Mill great-grandmother is expected in court. Micah Ward is facing aggravated murder charges, accused of killing Jacqueline Bell in her home. Police say Ward and his cousin, 17-year-old Joda Kane, killed her after she was upset about a party they threw. Kane made his first court appearance yesterday. He's facing 2 aggravated murder counts and 2 counts of felony murder in the death of his great-grandmother. They both remain in the Washington County Jail this morning. And this Clackamas County man is in jail right now, facing more than 24 child sex abuse charges, and authorities believe there may be more victims out there. Eric Freeberg is being held on $500,000 bail. The victims reportedly knew him and were children at the time of the accused crimes, and the Clackamas County investigators would like to hear from any other potential victims. And a former Hillsborough High School football star quit the Oregon football team, Oregon Duck football program, 11 days ago. And this morning, we've learned a little more about the decision. The university says it knew about an April 2012 off-campus incident involving Colt Lyerla. Now, the details of the incident came out just last week, and 3 Eugene men accused him of pushing them to the ground and appearing drunk. They didn't press charges, but our news partner, the Portland Tribune, talked with university officials who say they were aware of the confrontation and talked to the player about it. You can read that article in today's Portland Tribune or find it online. And the 5th and final public hearing on a proposed coal terminal in Longview will take place today. This one will be held in Tacoma at the Convention Center. Now, there was just one held in Ridgefield. Hundreds for and against it showed up to voice their opinion. The $643 million facility would sit along the Columbia River at the old Reynolds aluminum smelter site. It would export coal from Montana and Wyoming to Asia.
Now, the forecast with KOIN 6 meteorologist Riley O'Connor.
Hey, good Thursday morning, everyone. We're waking up with a fog in the area this morning, and visibilities have been pretty low, running to about a quarter of a mile in some areas. So as we look outside on our KOIN Tower Cam, it's actually starting to lift a little bit in downtown. Before, we couldn't even see the streets. 47 degrees, and the winds are calm outside. Visibility-wise, out towards Hillsborough improved greatly. 3/4 of a mile here in Portland and Vancouver around 6. Still looking at dense fog through Troutdale, even down towards Aurora and McMinnville, especially about a quarter of a mile. In Salem at this hour at a half of a mile. So expect this fog to linger for the next several hours. As we look at temperatures this morning, 38 in Tigard, 10-degree difference there in Eastmoreland at 48 and 44 out towards Gresham. Salem, good morning to you, 39 degrees and a chilly start up towards Hood River at 36. So here is the bus stop forecast for the kids this morning. Jacket will be needed, 44 degrees with a fog in the air, but once that lifts, we're going to get the sunshine in here with a high today near 67 degrees. I'll talk more about the forecast. Indydale coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Riley. Well, right now, counterfeit cash showing up in parts of the Willamette Valley between buyers and sellers, mostly through Craigslist. At least 4 reports have been filed in Corvallis and Albany in the past week. Now, detectives are telling us they're seeing counterfeit 10s, 20s, and 50s. Now, there are ways to check your money to see if it's fake. Look for color-changing ink, security strips embedded in the bills, and matching serial numbers.
Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what you're doing, and always check the money, especially when you're selling things on Craigslist.
The cases are similar, but no suspects have been arrested as of now. And today, a fundraiser for the daughters of a woman killed continues. Gresham police say Jessie Doyle Cabot was shot and killed by her estranged husband this past weekend. She leaves behind a 2- and 5-year-old. She worked as an instructor at the Bella Institute of Cosmetology in Southeast Portland, and today, all the money the school makes in haircuts, manicures, and pedicures will be donated to Jessie's girls.
A great thing and a great opportunity for people to come down and get their hair cut for a great cause and to support these 2 little beautiful girls.
The school is located at Southeast 22nd and Division, and it opens at 9 o'clock this morning. 8 minutes past 6 a.m. still to come. A massive fire at an island resort. A megastore in Thailand goes up in flames, and hundreds of shoppers are inside. That story coming up straight ahead. Plus, you can help name some cute, adorable lion cubs at the Oregon Zoo. The names you can pick from. And we're getting some live pictures in this morning of a large apartment fire. This is in the San Francisco area. We're told 2 people are hurt. You can see that blaze still burning right now. These are live pictures coming to us, and we'll have more on this story just as we return from this quick break. Thanks for staying right here on KOIN 6.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. Here's a live look out towards Vancouver this morning with a fog in the area. Visibilities have been running anywhere from a quarter of a mile in some areas. 46 right now in Vancouver. I'll talk more about our forecast and the weekend coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Riley, thank you very much. Let's turn to some more breaking news this morning. Live pictures coming to us out of San Francisco area. 2 people have been hurt in a large apartment fire. This is happening in Redwood City. Dozens of firefighters there on the scene. Flames pouring out of this building even now. now as firefighters are responding, and these live pictures coming to us out of Redwood City, California, near the San Francisco area. And again, we're told at least 2 people have been hurt. We're going to continue to monitor this situation, and we'll bring you new developments as they happen. Also happening right now, no word just yet on what sparked this raging fire in Thailand's southern resort island of Phuket. That blaze erupted inside a mega store packed with shoppers. You can see just how high those flames were shooting into the air, and it forced an evacuation of nearby residents. Now, initial reports suggest everybody made it out safely. Hundreds of firefighters rushed to the scene, spending hours fighting that fire. Authorities were fearful a nearby gas station would explode, so they took precautions trying to evacuate that as well. And right now, an investigation is underway after a plane crash in Laos killed 49 people from 11 countries, including 1 person from the U.S. Authorities have ruled out the possibility of any survivors. Now, backpacks, an airplane propeller, and several passports were found scattered along the riverbank where the plane crashed amid some stormy weather yesterday. Investigators have not released an official cause. Well, just days after a magnitude 7.2 earthquake in the Philippines, more than 150 people are dead. Hundreds others were hurt, and the quake damaged many historic churches as well as other buildings. But amid all that chaos, one woman was giving birth. Eileen Rose Carabana says her contractions began in the middle of the shaking. She and her mother hiked several miles to deliver her baby in a hospital tent. Fortunately, we're told mom gave birth to a healthy baby boy weighing in at just over 5 pounds. 6:14, and here's a cute one for you this morning. We need some of this after some rough news. 3 5-week-old lion cubs at the Oregon Zoo need some names, and you can help pick them out. Possible options for the smallest and weakest of the litter include Kamali and Mara. Options for the middle cub, known for her pretty mild temperament, are Zalaika and Jelani. And the largest and most outspoken of the cubs will be called Mashavu or Angelia. I messed that one up 2 times in a row. Angelia.
Angelia.
Hey, you know what? It happens. The new video you see right here, the Cubs playing around in their private den. You can vote for the names on the zoo's website through next Wednesday. So there you go. Vote for the one that I can't pronounce. Force me to learn it. All right, Carly, we've got a little bit of a situation out there this morning for folks.
Yes, an accident and also construction to warn you about. Just so you know, there will be construction on Highway 8, so that's TV Highway out there. And a single lane will be closed on TV Highway between Maple Street and Minter Bridge Road and between Dennis and 331st. Crews will adjust manholes and stripe the roadway, and most of that work will happen overnight from 7 p.m. until 6 a.m., but there is also utility work going on during the day. Now to that situation that we've been talking about throughout the morning, giving you a heads up on so you do not get caught in any of this congestion. This is the 99E serious crash out there north of Tacoma, and that's got all northbound lanes of 99E blocked right now. One southbound lane is closed. Traffic is getting by southbound, but only in one lane. So even if you're headed south on 99E, you may want to take one of these 2 Plan Bs to avoid a lot of that congestion. So Milwaukee Avenue or Highway 43, either one will work. I understand that northbound traffic is being rerouted onto Tacoma, and you can connect to either one of these by taking Tacoma. Now to the freeways. You know, we're keeping a close eye on I-5 southbound because it's right around that time when we see brake lights before the interstate bridge. So look at this, I-5 southbound. Looks like it's getting busy before the interstate bridge. I'm seeing some brake lights there on the camera. The drive time is still a quick one, 9 minutes from SR 500 to I-405, with just the slight slow up before the interstate bridge. I-84 at Providence, you can see it's getting busy, and from there.
All right, thank you very much, Carly. And here this morning, one man comes to the rescue, a good Samaritan being called a hero after taking down a would-be bank robber with his bare hands. Herb Pierce was at the Southern California Chase Bank branch on Tuesday when he witnessed the suspect walk in and claim to have a gun. However, Pierce didn't quite believe him, so he grabbed the suspect's arm and called his bluff.
And I'll be darned if some junkie's going to come off the street and take it from me. I put too many hours to get that little bitty paycheck, you know, so I'm not going to let him take my money.
Now, it turned out the suspect not armed at all, and he was arrested there on the spot. Now, police don't recommend people confronting suspects, but they are giving Pierce credit for preventing that robbery. And happening today, KOIN 6 and several local businesses will be serving a meal to remember for Portland's homeless. It's the unofficial start of the holiday giving season at the Portland Rescue Mission. And Cisco has been donating food since the first meal to remember 6 years ago. That's when Cisco employees took over the mission and served the food.
We just decided we were going to go down there and give those guys a night off because they basically 364 days of the year they're cooking dinners and so forth.
Like, this is the one time when we know we can fully trust our volunteers and our partners in this, and we don't have to worry about anything going wrong.
Now, since then, the business has been donating hundreds of thousands of pounds of food each year, and last year Cisco donated a little over 240,000 pounds of food. Employees at a county courthouse in Kansas say they stick together. They keep an eye out on folks. Workers keep a very close eye on a courthouse store where the cashier is blind, but police say one man tried to take advantage of that and stuffed candy in his pocket. A courthouse employee saw it, reported it to security. Well, it turns out the man was already headed to court to be sentenced for a felony theft charge. The Blazers enjoying back-to-back preseason wins over division rival the Utah Jazz. Damian Lillard shined in his old backyard, scoring 22 points. Mo Williams came off the bench to add 17, and LaMarcus Aldridge, the Elk Train, scored 16 for the Blazers. Final score 99-92. 6:18 here on a Thursday morning, and for the most part, we've had a very nice week. This morning, though, a little bit more widespread fog, it appears.
Yeah, and it is dense at times, so when you're headed out this morning, that's going to be the main weather headache, so just allow yourself plenty of time on your commute this morning because visibilities have been pretty low. Let's go ahead through your planner today and get you through that, and then we'll get to the extended forecast here in just a second. So we're going to see this fog for the next couple of hours, and it is going to be thick at times. We're going to start to get that gradual clearing, most likely between about 10 a.m. and noon, and that's going to leave us right around 55 for your lunch hour. When the kids head home today, we should be looking at a lot of sunshine, right around 64 degrees, and as we go through the evening hours, our highs will top off right around 67 between about that 3 and 5 p.m. mark, and we'll stay clear through the evening hours, right around 60 by 7 p.m. and 55 by 9 p.m. Looking outside on our KOIN tower cam, actually getting some improvements. Before, you couldn't really see anything outside. We're at 47 degrees right now, and the winds are calm and that relative humidity at 97%. But if you look at the visibilities, you can see that we're still dealing with some dense fog in some areas. Portland right now about 3/4 of a mile. Visibilities have improved up towards Vancouver, even Scappoose right now at 10. Once we get down towards Aurora, though, 2.5 miles, and then we're down to 1/4 of a mile in McMinnville and in Salem. So the further south you go, it looks like that's where the dense fog is lingering this morning. Temperature-wise, we're starting off in the mid to upper 30s out towards Garden Home and Hillsboro, to the mid to upper 40s downtown, and 44 in Gresham. Down in Salem this morning, 39 degrees and still a cool start out towards the coast, and we will see some of that fog out there this morning with some gradual clearing. But high pressure still will be in control of our area, and that's going to set us up for a very sunny, nice weekend. So if you're headed to see the Timbers game against Real Salt Lake on Saturday at 7:30, expect temperatures to be right around 60 degrees when the match starts, and then by the end of the game right around 53, and we'll have clear skies, so it's going to be a great night for the game. Chad, you're not going, are you?
No, I don't have tickets.
Man,
if somebody wants to give me a ticket or a couple, hey,
I'm used to him being at every game. Here's a look at the coast forecast for today. The morning clouds with the gradual clearing later in the afternoon. Same with the valley. We'll have some thick fog around Salem, ending up to around 67 today once that lifts. East of the mountains today, right around 62 in Burns. It's going to be a decent day east of the Cascades. A little cool to start with, but very nice fall day. Madras 65 degrees with the low near 34 tonight. The Dow's right around 68. Your winds are going to start off very light this morning, but you're going to notice them starting to pick up in the afternoon hours. From the east, Cascade Locks, we could be looking at gusts around 25 miles per hour. And Government Camp today, 55 degrees with a low near 39, with that freezing level right around 12,000 feet. 67 for downtown and 41 overnight tonight. And we're going to see that fog this morning, but once that lifts, all of us will generally be between about 66 and 68 degrees. So a nice day in the eastern areas where we're seeing the fog this morning. Clackamas right around 68 tonight with a low of around 40 degrees. And we'll be socked in the fog this morning up towards Salmon Creek and St. John's, but then we'll get that sunshine in coming in later today. So here's the extended forecast coming in. Look at tomorrow, though. Again, maybe some morning fog coming in, and then we'll get that gradual clearing, looking perfect on Saturday. If you love the sunshine, the temperatures right around 70 degrees. We will stay dry through next week with highs near 70 each day. Chad, back to you.
All right. I hope good things for that soccer game, and not just in the forecast. Thank you, Riley. All right. Apple may have a cheaper version of their iPhone, but it turns out their fans didn't necessarily want a cheaper price. We're going to explain that coming up next. Plus, what forced authorities at the nation's capital to pull a stenographer off the House floor late last night. We've got all the details straight ahead. No word this morning on the condition of a House of Representatives stenographer after she was hauled out of the chamber yesterday. Lawmakers were voting on the short-term plan to fund the federal government and raise the debt ceiling when it happened. Keep an eye on the middle of your screen, kind of right behind the word yay right there where you see the votes. A woman wearing beige-colored clothing can be seen at the podium. Witnesses say she grabbed a microphone and began screaming, quote, "God shall not be mocked. A house divided cannot stand." The sergeant-at-arms escorted her out and she was taken to a local hospital for evaluation. Yosemite National Park back open to visitors after the end of the 16-day partial government shutdown. It's among the dozens of national parks that are now reopening to tourists. Now, the national parks shutdown cost about $30 million tourist dollars a day for the U.S. Now, you might have heard Utah, Colorado, New York, and Arizona, they tapped into state money to keep their parks open. California, meanwhile, which has 23 national sites, said it simply couldn't afford to bail out the federal government. And when people buy Apple, it appears they're prepared to pay some big money. Apple's new iPhone 5S seems to be outselling the cheaper iPhone 5C. Consumer research shows the 5S accounted for 64% of Apple's cell phone sales at the end of September. The 5C only accounted for 27%. And it's not just the high-end market accounting for sales. About 9% of iPhone buyers purchased the 2-year-old 4S phone. Virtual money has made its way to Portland. Have you heard of the term Bitcoin? It's a form of online currency. And now Madison's Grill in Southeast Portland, the first business in Portland to accept it as payment. The owners even planning to host Bitcoin enthusiasts twice a month. So the question is, why do it?
Transaction fee for Bitcoin is much less than the transaction fee we would pay for Visa or MasterCard transactions. It's a slightly more than cash, but very similar to a cash transaction fee. So for a merchant, it can be an advantage that way too.
Bitcoins are traded on the stock market. At last check, they were selling for about $145 a piece. 6:26 and still to come. Following some breaking news out of Southeast Portland, a serious crash has McLaughlin Boulevard closed. We've learned some people have suffered some injuries. Our Brent Weisberg live at the scene. We've got the very latest straight ahead.
And I will have the Plan B routes for a way around that closure. Plus, we have a second accident which just happened on the west side, causing a big delay on Highway 26.